Okay, are we on? Are we on? Okay. So, as many of you probably saw, not many because not many people saw it, but as most of you know, I actually have a book collection, and a lot of those books contain omnibuses, and I want to do a review, so let's do that. Now this right here is the first omnibus I ever finished. I actually finished this a few weeks ago. It is The Death and Return of Superman. Now, I'm not going to give a review of the build of this omnibus. If you want to go see that, there's many people on YouTube. There's a near mint condition. I recommend going to his channel and doing that. But what I wanted to do was give a review of this story. Now, this isn't a traditional book, as many of you can probably see. This is a collection of issues from this whole era of Superman. And I actually found out a bit more about this after I read it. So let's go into it, shall we? You probably won't be able to see the pages very well, but hey, if you want to read this, you don't want to get spoiled on it. So maybe that's a good thing. Okay, so let's start off. I'm not gonna go through every issue, but I'm gonna give like a brief overview of it. So let's start off with the first issue. The first issue contains hold on, Superman the Man of Steel number 18, I believe. No, that's the first issue, but it has material from Doomsday's first appearance, which is the last few pages. It's not really much, but he does break through a wall. And then we start off with Superman number 8, Superman the Man of Steel number 18, the beginning of the end. Now, obviously, I don't want this video to be like 2 hours long, so I'm just gonna go over some of this briefly. So yeah, Doomsday breaks out. Now, if you haven't been reading this whole era of Superman like I did, the Triangle era as it's called, then you're probably going to be really confused as to what's going on. So basically this takes place in the New 52. And the New 52, no, not the New 52, New Earth. This takes place there's an event called Crisis on Infinite Earths. And what it did was essentially just reboot everything, because it was just too confusing. So now everything takes place on one Earth, all the universes are combined into one. It's really confusing if you're not a nerd like me. So yeah, it started in 1986, I believe, this Triangle era. And essentially, I want to explain a few things. So Lex Luthor is now Lex Luthor II, because apparently he was dying of cancer. I didn't know this, and I was really confused why Lex Luthor was a redhead at first. So I was really confused by that. And apparently Supergirl isn't Kara because she died in Crisis. She stayed dead for a while, so I don't think she came back until like Infinite Crisis or something. So this one is like some shape-shifting weirdo. And Lex is like grooming her to be like his girlfriend or something. It's weird. I don't understand none of this. So basically, I think these are Underworlders. I don't quite remember. But this doesn't actually start off with Doomsday. It does have Doomsday in it, but it's just like a background element. So let's go further in. And here's where we get Doomsday. Yeah, he sees this little bird. He's like, oh my god, it's so cute. And then he kills him. He's just built for destruction. So for anyone who doesn't know, which is probably a lot of you, Doomsday is actually from prehistoric Krypton, meaning... And I don't know what I said by meaning. So in prehistoric Krypton was a absolutely brutal place to be. So he basically evolved to survive that climate, and now he can evolve to sustain any threat. So when you kill him, he just comes back stronger. Okay, so let's skip a few pages because nothing really interesting happens. It's just Superman doing what he does. Yeah, this is just underworld stuff, and I don't give a shit about that. Oh yeah, the Justice League's in this. I think it's the Justice League. It's Justice League International. There's Booster Gold, Guy Gardner. I think that's Windfire. That's Blue Beetle. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know many of these people. But you don't need to know them to read this story, so that's neat, because I didn't really know who they were, but I could still read it. So yeah, they try and fight Doomsday. They fail. Blue Beetle nearly dies. I don't know why his nipple's purple. That's weird. It's 90s. It's 90s shit. You never understand that. So yeah, Doomsday comes over to this kid's house. Rex Ice something. I don't know what her name is. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't know what her name is, dude. If any of you actual fans know, because I'm just a LARPer. If any of you guys know her name, tell me. So yeah, they realize this is a job for Superman. So Superman comes over and he's like, "Oh yeah, Doomsday." And cool stuff goes on. I realize if I'm going to do this, it's going to be really boring. So I'm just going to skip through some of the pages. Hopefully you guys can see them. Maybe you can't. I don't know. But yeah, they fight for a few issues. It's basically just that for like 4 or 5 issues. And the panels, there's like less panels as the issues go on. So there's 3 panels in this issue. There should be 2 panels in the next issue. And Superman 75, which is the death of Superman. Well, I say death very loosely because he didn't actually die. He just went into a comatose state. But that doesn't really matter. The story isn't really about that, in my opinion. But we get to Superman 75. And this is where, Superman dies. This was like a huge event. Huge event. The freaking CNN was talking about it or something. Because, like, Superman's dead. You can't kill Superman. He's invincible. But yeah, he died from this. And it's all just splash pages. It's really incredible, honestly. This artwork, I think this was made in 1993. I mean, for being over 33 years old, it holds up really well. So yeah, Superman hits him with that laser beam. Goes on like this, and they do some cross-hitting from that one anime, I forgot. And yeah, Superman dies. It's not actually, they don't actually reveal his death, it's through the freaking camera lens. I didn't figure that out until way later. So we get to this, and finally we get to probably one of the most famous images in comic book history. We get the fold-out page of Superman's death. And it's still intact here. So that's really, really cool. Let me just fix this. This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, here lies Earth's greatest hero. We got some, I think this is a fake newspaper article. I think this is a fake newspaper where we get like the reactions from the public. And I think actually Mike Tyson has a saying in this. Yeah, here's all the Frank Berkowitz, the mayor of Metropolis. You don't see him often. I don't know who that is. Oh yeah, here we got Shaquille O'Neal, Buck Henry, Bill Plimpton. I don't know why he's here. We got Dr. Karen Lou Faulkner. That's a fictional character. That's, you know, Larry Niven. Yeah, it's really, really cool, honestly. So, yeah, there's one issue I want to go over, and that's Funeral for a Friend #1. This is the first comic I ever gave a 10 out of 10. I've gotten close. I'm very generous with my ratings for comic books, but this is the first one I ever gave a 10 out of 10. And the reason why is the character dynamics are absolutely incredible. It just feels so real. Like you just watched your best friend die. It really does feel like that. So they try and revive Superman. It doesn't work well. Yeah, it's really depressing, honestly. And it's like that for the next 1,200 pages until Superman comes back. Because yes, he does return, and Death and Return of Superman. Now, I do want to... A lot of this issue, I don't want to spoil. But I will give you one line that I really liked. Oh, wait, it wasn't Funeral for a Friend #1. It was Funeral for a Friend #2. That's what it was. That's the one I liked. Sorry. Man. I am so freaking stupid. Okay, so everyone's starting to find out that Superman died. The whole Justice League. Everyone in DC basically knows it by now. So the Flash, Wally West, shows up because Barry Allen was dead by this point. And he didn't come back until Final Crisis, which was like 2021. I think it was like 24 years later, which is insane. So this is Wally West. We got Booster Gold. I fucking hate that they're saying shit right now. Okay, so yeah, we got Wally West. We got Aquaman. People hate Aquaman. I don't think he's that bad. I actually want to get one of his omnibuses. I think it's Peter David Aquaman. After Aquaman, we got Batman and Robin, the dynamic duo. I think this is Tim Drake, Robin. They don't say it explicitly, but I do think it's Tim Drake. We got Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. We got, I think that's Hawkman. We got Starfire. We got Nightwing. Which is Dick Grayson. We got the original Justice Society with Alan Scott and Jay Garrick. And I think that's the Elongated Man. I don't know. Next we have Wonder Woman, Black Canary, and Green Arrow. And I believe this guy, he didn't show up. He didn't get an introduction. But I think this is Etrigan the Demon. So that's interesting. But that's not the point. The roll call isn't important. What's important is that they're basically mourning a friend. And they get all of these, they get this arm bracelet thing. And this is the one I want to mention. Now Guy Gardner is kind of a dick. But during this, he actually does show some respect to Superman. And this is what he says. Cut me with a knife, why don't you, Ice? We sure had our tussles, Blue. You were the world's ultimate Boy Scout, the kind of guy who embodied fairness and justice. Me, I'm a rogue. But that don't mean I can't see the truth. Doomsday caved my head in, Blue. But you took him down. You won. Guess I can wear this for that service. I had respect for that. So I just find that really impactful. This isn't actually Funeral for a Friend #2. It was This is Funeral for a Friend number 2. I keep making mistakes. I believe this is the Justice League tie-in to Funeral for a Friend. Let me see if I can actually get to it. Yeah, this is Justice League America number 70. But it does have Funeral for a Friend on the top of it, so... yeah, I'm gonna skip over a lot of this because you don't really need to know all of this. This isn't really important. There's this dude called Guardian. So yeah, they take Superman's body. Bill Clinton's there for some reason. Let me see how long I've been going on like this. 15 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna wrap this up soon because I don't want this to be too long. But find his body. They want to resurrect him. This guy tries to pay respect to Superman. There's this whole bloodline thing that's going on. I know some people didn't really like it. This is like a whole event going on at the time. But this is the only issue I read from this. I heard that these bloodline issues are very cheap and no one wants them. But I found it really interesting. I had really fun doing voices for them and adding filters over them. So, yeah, there's that. This is like a whole event going on at the time. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, there's 4 new Supermen. There's Steel, Superboy, Eradicator, and Cyborg Superman. He'll be important later on, and you'll realize why. Okay, so there's Eradicator. And they all claim to be the real Superman, except Steel. So... but obviously Superman does come back. But everyone believes this for some reason. Even Lois is starting to fall for it. So, there's that. I skipped over this issue. The news article one. It was just so fucking dumb. Like, I came here to read comics, not read the news. Fake news at that. Fake news! Fake everything. Superman didn't die. It's implied by the woke left. All that. It's ridiculous. But all you need to know is that Cyborg Superman saved the president. He has shape-shifting abilities, essentially. Oh yeah, and here's another one of my favorite issues. And this is probably my second favorite one in this whole omnibus. It is Superman Annual number 5, and it is a tie into Bloodlines. Like I know I said this before, but people didn't really like Bloodlines, but I really liked this issue because you find out that Lex Luthor actually killed his martial arts instructor. Spoiler alert, I guess, but who's really going to be buying something that's $150? Man, I'm sorry if I spoiled it for you if you really wanted to read it, but I just want to gush about this because it is just so good. It is so good. It was such an engaging mystery. Like, I genuinely had no idea where it was going, and when the twist was revealed, I was genuinely shocked. So that's another one of my favorite issues in there. Skip over a few. Superboy's a fucking dick, and I hate him. He doesn't like to be called Superboy. He's Superman. Stupid. So, they help this guy out. I don't want to go over everything, because then what's the point in buying it? I already went over Bloodlines, the Superman Annual number 5. Who cares about that? No one cares about Bloodlines. You probably won't either. Oh yeah, Coast City blows up. I'm not gonna say nothing. But you guys probably know about 0 Hour, and that's how it starts with Coast City blowing up. That's how it happens. That's how it happens, so it's not really a spoiler. What I won't say, though, is who did it. I'm not going to say who did it. For all you guys know, it could be anyone. It could be anyone. So here we go to, I think that was another Bloodlines tie-in. Yeah, Superman comes back in this sick black suit. And we got another Bloodlines tie-in. I skipped this one completely because there's like no point in reading this. It ties into absolutely nothing. It's literally in the middle of an extremely important storyline, so just skip over this. There's no point in reading it. So yeah, and it is long. Annuals are long, dude. And there's like no point to reading this. So yeah, we get to the end. Superman's back. He's got his powers because he didn't have his powers. And well, that's it. So if I had to give this a rating, mainly for the issues I didn't like and for the filler, I'm going to give it like a solid 7.5 or an 8. So if you guys want to buy this, it is on Amazon. It's usually not at retail price, so that's one way you can get it. And that's all I got to say. So, see ya.